that the Hajj, the chapter of Hajj is broken down into three sections in terms of actions. They are the arkan, the pillars, and the wajibat and the sunnah. What is the difference between the arkan, a pillar, and the wajibat and the sunnah? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? It should be everybody who was here last week. And he wasn't here last week, subhanAllah. Go ahead.
I think.
You think? No, worry. We need somebody, we need ayn yaqeen. That's what we need.
The arkan of the rukun is actually when you don't do it, you invalidate your Hajj.
When you don't do a rukun, a pillar, you invalidate your Hajj. Okay. That's your contribution. What's the difference between the wajibat now? If the rukun, a pillar, are those things which if you left out, your Hajj is incorrect. Okay, so what's the wajibat? In other books, in other chapters of fiqh, rukun and wajib and fard are the same thing, except in Hajj. So what's the difference? Wajibat.
If you miss it, you need to pay fine.
Okay. If you miss a wajib, your Hajj is still okay. Your Hajj is still okay. However, you have to pay a dam, expiation. Sunnah.
Recommendation?
Huh?
Something like recommendation, like visiting the grave and all that.
No, but what definition is Sunnah here?
If you do it, you will get rewards from Allah. But if you do it, your Hajj is still valid.
Okay, so doing it or not doing it doesn't invalidate your Hajj. And more importantly, you don't have to pay anything. No dam, no slaughter. We'll talk about later with the slaughter. But you've lost a lot of reward. Okay, what are the arkan, the pillars of Hajj? Okay, what are the things that if you do them, your Hajj is incorrect? 6 things. 6 things. The first is al-ihram. The next is standing at Arafah. The third is al-tawaf. Al-tawaf. Then it's al-sa'i. Then it's al-halq. Wal-taqsir. Shaving the head. Or shortening the hair. And then doing things in that order. So again, it's the ihram. 1. Standing at Arafah. 2. Al-tawaf. 3. Al-sa'i, going between Safa and Marwa. Shortening or shaving your hair and doing everything in that order. Okay? Each one of these we're going to go into detail. Don't worry. طيب, so what are the pillars of Umrah? The pillars of Umrah are everything I've just mentioned apart from standing at Arafah. In your Umrah, you don't have to stand at Arafah. Okay? Which means that you have to, and if you go to Umrah, you have to do your ihram. And you have to stand at Arafah. And you have to do tawaf. And you have to do Safa and Marwa. And then you have to shave or shorten your hair. And then doing everything in that order. Umrah takes literally a few hours. Umrah takes a few hours. Hajj takes a few days. Don't forget, Hajj is what? Doing something specific. At a specific time. At a specific place. With a specific intention. Doing a specific action. Throwing. At a specific time. At a specific place, the Mina. With a specific intention. Okay? Hajj is all about it being at the right place at the right time. Being at the right place at the right time. Doing the right thing with the right intention. That's my modern day translation. My innovation. Okay. So what do we mean by al-ihram? What do we mean? Al-ihram is the intention to enter into Hajj or Umrah. Al-Ihram is to enter, the intention to enter into the Hajj or Umrah. What's Al-Ihram? The intention to enter into the Hajj or the Umrah. Okay? Now, in terms of intention, when we pray Salat al-Maghrib or Isha or Fajr, we make a niyyah. Or Sunday Salat al-Fajr, or on the way to Sunday Salat al-Fajr, and so forth. Hajj, we have to have intention. But wait, there are 3 ways of doing Hajj. 3 ways of doing Hajj? Yes, 3 ways. What do you mean 3 ways? There's only one Kaaba. You know? Yeah, there's 3 ways of you gaining your Hajj. 3 ways. The first way is what is known as al-ifrad. Al-ifrad, which is doing Hajj and then following it straight away by Umrah. So you go to Hajj, do everything in Hajj, and then once you finish, do your Umrah straight after it. So you're doing it separately, Hajj, and then once you finish Hajj, then Umrah. Yes. Now you remember, obviously, on the leaflets that we had, the step-by-step guide, inshallah. Very useful guide. Very useful. And according to the ulama, that way of doing Hajj is the best way. Doing a Hajj, getting it out of the way, and then performing Umrah straight away. Within that month, the month of the Hijjah, performing your Umrah. Within that time. Okay? That's one way. The next way is the opposite. Which is what? Doing the Umrah first, and then doing the Hajj. Umrah first, and then do the Hajj. Obviously, you've got to start that before the day of Arafah. And with that way of doing it, there's a compensation. You have to pay something, which we'll talk about later, inshallah. In the Reliance of Travel, he has a big section talking about the different types of penalties that one has to pay. I'm going to leave it to the end. I'm going to break it down because it's quite a lot there. Okay? Or the next way, which is perhaps the most easiest way, is to do them both simultaneously. How are you going to do them both simultaneously? It means to make the intention to do the Hajj and Umrah simultaneously. The way to al-Hajj wal-Umrah. Okay? And there's a compensation there to be paid as well. Right? Why is there compensations, a penalty, something to pay? Because you've left something out. In Hajj, when we have to slaughter or pay, it's because you've left something out. There's something that you've left out, there's something you've missed. And that's why in order to rectify or to perfect your Hajj, you pay or you slaughter. Okay? We'll talk about that, inshallah. How do you make the intention? Well, the intention obviously is to intend in your heart and to say it, which is recommended to say it, but intention in the heart. So like what? نويت الحج وأحرمت به لله تعالى. نويت الحج, I intend to do the Hajj, وأحرمت به لله تعالى, and I've made myself sacred for this لله تعالى. And then say لبيك اللهم لحجة. طيب. And if it's Umrah, you say نويت العمرة وأحرمت بها لله تعالى. نويت العمرة وأحرمت بها لله تعالى. And if you want to do them both together, if you're going to do the Hajj and Umrah together, then you say نويت الحج والعمرة وأحرمت بهما لله تعالى. لبيك اللهم بحجة وعمرة. ما شاء الله. Are you getting in the mood to go to Hajj? When I hear this, Allah, you want to go to Hajj? What are the sunnahs of the ihram? The sunnah of the ihram is to brush your hair and your beard. It's tidy to brush it. You should be always brushed anyway. Shaving the armpits, which is a sunnah. Putting your nails. Shaving the pubic hair. Having a shower for the ihram. And having showers is quite frequent in Hajj. Just about for every major aspect there's a shower to have, a sunnah ghusl. You'll be having washes all the time if you're going to follow this full sunnah. If a woman's on her period, does she still have to have that wash? That recommended wash? It's still recommended for a woman who's on her period to have the ghusl before she enters into ihram. Okay. Then, wearing and this is what I want to ask you about. Wearing then the two white sheets. Sunnah. لبس إزار ورداء جديدين أبيضين ثم مغسولين. And it's sunnah for a woman to wear white. Sunnah for the woman to wear white. What do the Malaysian women when they go? What do they wear? White. Because you know this. Been taught. It's sunnah anyway. Sunnah. Now for the man, it says izar, which is a lungi, which is basically that white towel, and something like a shawl or rida you wear on top, which is basically those two white cloths that they wear. Yes? Just to have one at home. Anybody have one here? I want to see what it's like. We have to dress somebody up. Who wants to buy one? A model. We have one young boys. Find out how much. And inshallah, we'll dress you up.
You mean the shawl or the ihram?
No, the ihram. The ihram, the thing where it's called ihram, but really it's the two white cloths. It's called ihram. The two white cloths or the two white towels, like a towel really. If anybody wants to buy one, please, it'd be good so we can see. Alright. I need the boys around, 2 boys. Yes? I don't know, they're cheap. 10, 15 pounds. You buy them here on the shops. Inshallah. You got a lot of reward. Think about it. We'll put it on the camera as well. Also, sunnah to put perfume on your body, but not on the clothes. We'll talk about that in more detail later in the future. And praying to sunnah rak'ataini, praying to sunnahs and reading in them Surah Al-Ikhlas in both. Read the sunnahs of the ihram. In the state of ihram, for the next few days you're going to be in the state of ihram. Certain things you can't do. We'll talk about that later on in the future, inshallah. Number 2 is standing at Arafah. What's Arafah? A place where? In Arafah. Yeah, it's a place in Arafah. That's Arafah. This pillar is the greatest pillar. It's Ar-Rukn Al-A'zam. Ar-Rukn Al-A'zam. Why? Because the Prophet has said in the hadith, Sahih, Al-Hajj Arafah. Hajj is Arafah. There is no Hajj without Arafah. Okay? من أدرك عرفة قبل أن يطلع الفجر فقد أدرك الحج. Whoever does Hajj, whoever catches Arafah قبل أن يطلع, before the sun, or before the Fajr comes in, he's caught the day of Arafah, and he's caught Hajj. From that, we learn something important. We learn that the time for you to catch Arafah is from the midday of Arafah, which is the day before Eid, right up until Fajr. That's a big time frame. We'll talk about that in a second. And he says, as a hadith narrated in Imam Tirmidhi's collection, that the greatest sin for a person standing at Arafah, the greatest sin is to think that Allah will forgive him. La ilaha illallah. The greatest sin. أعظم ذنب من وقف بعرفات وظن أن الله لم يغفر له. That's the biggest sin. Standing at Arafah and thinking that Allah will forgive you. Will not forgive you. That's the biggest sin on that day. Forgiveness is being poured. And I said the window of opportunity for Arafah is midday on the 9th and up to the Fajr of the next morning. You know, from midday and before Dhuhr until Fajr. How long do I have to stay at Arafah for? A moment is enough. 1 moment is enough. 1 moment. Even if you're just passing by, even driving through. And some ulama have said even flying. Some of the shafie scholars, even if you're flying over, MashaAllah, you catch Arafah. Even, okay, what happens if you were asleep? The car went past, you fell asleep. You still catch it. You still catch it. So you woke up and you know it was Muzdalifah. Oh, I missed Arafah. Don't worry, if the car went passed through Arafah, even if you're asleep. Okay. It says even if somebody didn't know that he was in Arafah, he didn't know. If you ask him, where are you now? I don't know. I'm not from here. I'm from somewhere from England, for example. And he goes, oh, you know where you were before? He goes, yes. Or, you know, yesterday, you know where you were? He goes, no. You were at Arafah. Oh, I didn't know. He still got Hajj. If he didn't know where he was. Even if he didn't know what day it was. He didn't know what day it was. Today's Arafah. I didn't know. I really didn't know. MashaAllah. Most people, when they go to Hajj, they just follow people. Which is up to a point, you'll get by. But how do you know you're not doing something wrong? As we find out, it's not that easy. A number of things will come up. What happens if you're with your wife or your mother and she starts her period? Now what? Can she do tawaf? Can she go to the mosque? No, what are you going to do now? I don't know. We should have learned. Or what happened if somebody didn't go to Muzdalifah? From Arafah went to Mina. Or someone forgot to do the tawaf, the first tawaf. Or somebody, when he was doing the tawaf, he lost his wudu. Or somebody used soap, scented soap, or brushed his teeth. All these things have repercussions. Yes? We're going to, don't worry, all these will be answered. Well, I'm not saying everything, mashallah. So Arafah is very easy. Just be there. Just be there. Obviously, there's a lot of dua and prayers you can do that. MashaAllah. Okay, what are the sunnahs of Arafah? The first one is having a shower. MashaAllah, another shower. You did the ihram, they have another shower. Sunnah. Okay. The next sunnah is to enter into Arafah after midday. After midday. That's the next sunnah. The next sunnah is to join Dhuhr and Asr. And pray Dhuhr and Asr in the time of Dhuhr. You pray Dhuhr, and then you pray Asr straight after. Sunnah. Not wajib, sunnah. Next sunnah is doing a lot of dhikr. Tahleel. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. And some of the ulama have mentioned that saying 1,000 La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahu al-mulk wa lahu al-hamd wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. 1,000 times. And some ulama saying 100 times Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Wallahu akbar. Al-baqiyat as-salihat. Al-baqiyat as-salihat. طيب خير. And you can do it out loud if you want. No bid'ah. And obviously reading Quran and doing the salawat and the Prophet and so forth. The point that you're not there talking, wasting time on Facebook or something useless like that. Don't waste your time. Or talking to your friends or so, you know. Arafah is a very important time. If you make the most of Arafah, you will leave that day, within a few hours, you, mashallah, wiped clean. Everything wiped away. Everything wiped away. New baby. Like the baby before, mashallah, mashallah. You'll be clean like the baby. Mashallah, mashallah. Say mashallah. Mashallah. Also recommended to stay there a bit longer than most people would, and not to pray Maghrib there. When the Maghrib time comes in, don't pray Maghrib. Wait, delay your Salat al-Maghrib until you get to Muzdalifah, and then pray there. So you're delaying your Maghrib, Jam' at-Akhir, you're praying Maghrib and Isha, and it'll be Isha's time. Sunnah, not wajib, sunnah.
Sheikh, so you need to be in Arafah after midday.
You got from midday right up to Fajr.
Okay.
To catch Arafah.
Oh, anytime.
Anytime, that's it.
And then you can leave.
Yeah. You don't have to be there for a moment.
Oh, you don't have to stay until Fajr.
What I'm saying is the window of opportunity. You go from midday right up until Fajr. Anytime in that window, you just one moment, you call it Arafah. But in the Sunnah, obviously, staying there until after Maghrib. So you catch a bit of the day, you catch a part of the day and a part of the night. Okay? And the Sunnah is also to wait until the yellowness on the sky of Isha has disappeared, and then to leave Arafah and go to Muzdalifah. So you wait. Wait for the redness will disappear, and then be yellow. Yellow and white. Wait until the yellow has gone, and then it's recommended to
Ganti.
Okay. It's doctor, I know. Free NHS. Has that been recorded?
I took it, I can cut.
So it would look like I didn't go out. Any questions on Arafah?
Sure. You mean like on the day of judgment, we will be like standing and gathering on the Arafah as well. So any sort of like.
There's some hadith I've read like this. I'm getting that meaning.
It's like double meaning. It's like we are sort of like accompanying the action of Sa'i between Marwa and Safa with Maryam.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine. He said every time before he goes into the exam hall, he goes, he's reminded of the day of judgment. I said, why? Because everyone's waiting to be being tested. Everyone's waiting, everyone's worried. How are you going to do that? Because this is like the day of judgment. Before you go into the hall, the exam's like your exam by Allah. And he said, look at all these people, how everyone's worried. Nobody wants to talk to anybody. Everybody's reading the book. And then some people are maybe confident, maybe smiling, and some people are not smiling, some people are scared, some people are trying to know what to do, some people are confused, and some people over there reading the book, getting ready, don't want to talk to anybody. Yes? If anybody's done any exams, that's what, before the exam, that's what it's normally like. A lot of our things we go through life in the day, things that upset us and things that trouble us and these type of things, they're nothing to do, they're not that important at the end of the day. All this stuff, at the end of the day, what matters is your good deeds, how you meet Allah. Khair inshallah. Which, learning how to worship Allah will put you in a good position to meet Allah. Tawaf. Now understand this. There are 3 types of tawaf. What do you mean 3 types of tawaf? There's 3 Ka'bas? No, only 1 Ka'bah. But there's 3 different types of tawaf. There's the tawaf of the welcoming. Tawaf al-Qudum. Which is when you get there, you do this tawaf. That's sunnah. And we'll talk about that later. And there's a tawaf al-wada', the farewell tawaf. We'll talk about that later as well. So which one are we talking about now? This is tawaf al-ifada, which is to be done on the day of Eid. When you after you've gone to Mina and you stone the big jamrah, and then you shave and so forth, and you slaughter and so forth, and you take your clothes off. Then you go to Mecca and do tawaf. Example, tawaf. That's the rukn. That's the most important tawaf. If you forget that and not do that, your hajj will be void. طيب. Conditions of tawaf. The first conditions, your awrah from your belly button to knee have to be covered. So be careful. Your lower body should be covered between your belly button to knee. Let's say if the towel you're wearing, for example, the towel you're wearing was up to here. For example, here's the knee above. You're going around tawaf. Tawaf's incorrect. Why? Your awrah. So lower it a little bit. From your belly button to knee. Just go above the belly button, above, and past the knee. Just you're okay. Yes?
Can you show this shop?
You have like those two. That's why when he comes and shows us, we'll have a better idea. Which whoever wanted to show, a model for us. Because I want to see it myself. Just, I'm not joking. If you can, it will be a big help. You'll get a lot of reward. The next thing is you being in wudu. You can't do your tawaf if you're not in wudu. Be in wudu. Now, a question. What happens if you lose your wudu during tawaf? You're going around the Kaaba. Has to be 7 times, which we'll talk about in a second. Halfway through, you lose your wudu. Now what? What you do now? Now, obviously, go do wudu, obviously, and come back. But where do you start from? Is it like salah? Where if you lose your wudu during salah, you're praying Isha, you do 2 rak'at, you lose your wudu. Now what do? Go do wudu. Come back, and now what? Start from the beginning, or do you finish, you continue where you left off? Is tawaf the same? Tawaf, you finish off where you left off. You continue where you left off. And the ulama, they talk about this. Why is there a difference? They talk about it. I can't really get it. A lot of fiqh could be deemed as a lot of the fiqh ruling could be deemed possibly as bid'ah. Because where's the proof of this? The ulama have to draw analogies. Well, anyway.
So basically, your break your wudu is you have to stop.
You can't continue.
I heard once there's I don't know, this opinion saying that during Hajj, during Tawaf, it is forgivable. It's forgiven. You are forgiven. If you break the wudu, you discontinue because it's very hard to keep.
Wait, that's something else now. That's something else. How about this? When I say breaking your wudu, I mean like, you pass wind or something like this. Go do your wudu. But how about, for those who've been, the women? The women. What about the women? Well, if a woman, mazhab shafie, or Hanafi is okay. If a woman touches you, not that hard, but touches you, your wudu is broken, invalid. Now what they say, because there's so many people, it's very difficult to keep your wudu. Unless mashallah, even that's really difficult. Unless you have bodyguards, you're the king or the sultan of Malaysia, I don't know what you have. You have all the people around you protecting you, you're in the middle, which will be very difficult, I don't know how. But unless that happens, you're more than likely you'll be touched by wudu. Here, mazhab shafii say, because of the difficulty in keeping wudu, it's you're forgiven. If a woman touches you, you're forgiven. Only in this situation. Or you could you wouldn't even need, you take the position in mazhab shafii that says that the one touching you, their wudu is invalid, but your wudu, okay. You're being touched. The one being touched, no problem. So you can, The next thing is that your body and your clothes have to be clean. No najasa, no filth. Number 4 is that the Kaaba has to be on your left hand side. Has to be on the left. Imagine, I don't know how if you're going to put it on the right, it'll be very difficult. Because if the Kaaba is on your right, everyone's 2.5 million people going this way, and one person trying to go that way, because the Kaaba on his right, it'd be difficult. But if it so happened you were the only one there, and you didn't know which way to go around, just keep it on your left. Okay? number 5 is to start from where the Hajj al-Aswad is. The Hajj al-Aswad. So, imagine this is the Kaaba. And on the corner is a black stone, Hajj al-Aswad. You start at your starting point, you start there. You don't start over here, you don't start by the door, you don't start over here either. You start by the Hajj al-Aswad, that's your starting point. And it has I've been told, it has a line on the floor, you can see. Otherwise just line yourself up from the distance. There's a line, it's still there. The only problem with the line is that it might be difficult to see it.
And there's a green light as well on the pillar.
Laser light?
Not like a laser light, it's a long light that they put along the pillar. So the far pillar.
Wait. Is that a bid'ah? Is that a bid'ah?
Yeah.
No, really?
Yep.
Every innovation is prescribed. Why are you doing that? Where does that fit in? For us, Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, the 4 madhabs, no problem. That's not a problem for us. Whoever introduces a good practice into Islam, he gets a reward. No problem for us. But for them, I don't know how will I justify it? What they're saying, it is a haja, there's a need. There's a need. طيب خير. You call it a need, and we call it bid'ah hasana. That's the only difference. It's semantics now. Just words. Okay? Let's call it, whatever, if you want to call it bid'ah hasana, if you want to call it haja, a need, whatever. But the point is that it's something new, yes? In our religion, yes? We won't be different. We won't call it bid'ah hasana, we'll call it a need. Okay? No problem now? Any problems? Many things. The visa. Is that now having a visa to go to Umrah or Hajj? You can't do your Hajj unless you have a visa. What's that now? Bid'ah? What kind of bid'ah is it? And for us, it'd be a recommended innovation. Recommended. Or maybe makruh. Maybe, depending on the situation. But the point is that they've narrowed the rulings of the Sharia so much that it goes against them. These people. It goes against them. Next, okay, who's got? Give me the lines. It's a reader from here. This next one. Which one? Check his on.
40%.
Huh?
Only 40%.
Only 40 minutes. Here we go. That it begins from the black stone, as described above, and that one passes by all of the stone with all of one's body. For if one begins from another part of the Kaaba, then the round does not count until one reaches them. And the best way to do it is to, at the corner, this is the corner, when you're walking by, to turn your body sideways. Like this, and walk around. Tired? You tired? He said yes. Yes, you see that? Yeah. So, when you're going around, turn your body. The face, and come on. There's a corner. Then you're going around. Turn your body. When you face the stone, the pass.
Side.
Yeah, on the side. So you're walking, turn the stone, turn to the stone, and then when you go past, then come around. Understand that?
Yes.
And would you repeat it again? Anybody that didn't understand? Who didn't understand? Put your hand up.
There's a must, you do that? Or is there second?
That's something I want to check out. That's something I want to check out. Plenty of du'as.
Is it why you stand and face the...
There's plenty of du'as. The whole book. Every part, yeah. Something I want to check out. In the lives of a traveller, there's approximately 52 positions and more that are not the strongest position. In the book, The Lives of a Traveller, there's 52 positions that are not the strongest position. When I say 52 positions not the strongest position, I mean that are not Ibn Hajar only. That don't take the strong, an opinion other than those opinions. Doesn't mean we throw the book away. No, the book's doesn't have those strongest positions. There are 52 positions in this book that are not the strongest position. And they're counting. There's one of my teachers, Indonesian. He was writing a book, all the positions that are not the strongest. He had over 52 last time I saw him. Also, it has to be 7 times. Has to be 7 times. Also, you have to be inside the masjid. You're going to do tawaf, you can't be outside the mosque. Oh, mashallah, it'll take you an hour to do one. Oh, outside. You can be inside the mosque. And you can do it on the roof of the mosque, but it's more cruel. It's more cruel because some ulama say it doesn't count. So because of this difference of opinion, the ulama say it's more cruel. It's a slight to do tawaf on the roof of the mosque itself. MashaAllah, oh yeah. Okay. More, I think you get more reward, more footsteps. More reward, yeah. Inshallah, why not? That'll be bid'ah as well, That'll also be bid'ah. The Sahaba didn't that high. Even the mosque extension would be bid'ah. Yeah, the extension, would that be bid'ah? And building a mosque is an act of worship. Go ahead.
Can you do more than 7 hours?
Okay, no problem. No problem. More, no problem. Less is a problem. Let's say you forgot. You forgot. On the roof, Allah. Was it the second one or the third one? I don't know. It's been 2 hours. What do? You go with the least amount. You go with the least amount. Next Allah. No, you don't. It's 4, finish it. Have I done 3? Have I done 2? There you go with the least amount that you're certain of. I'm certain I've done 1. That's okay. Build 1. In tawaf, I'm definitely certain I've done 2. Definitely. The rest, I don't know. Is it 4, 5? Start with 2. That's the lowest amount you have certainty with, and build up. Okay. Try and keep a note, because you have women with you, or your mother, or someone old. You lose count. Oh, big problem. For you, you're young, no problem, but for them, it's hard. The other thing is that, which you probably never have this situation, but the Kaaba has a part that sticks out. Like what would they call it?
Foundation?
Yeah. Like, see the Kaaba?
At the base, yeah?
Yeah. I have no pen. Basically, it'd be like this. You have this is the wall of the Kaaba, that's the wall of the Kaaba, and you have a part like this at the base. On one side of the Kaaba, you have like this all the way, the base. The point is now, that You can't do, can you do tawaf in the Kaaba? Inside the Kaaba, around and around. Inside the Kaaba, you get the key and you go in. No, you got to be outside the Kaaba. You have to be outside of the Kaaba. This part here, the air above it is considered as inside the Kaaba. Why? Because this is part of the Kaaba. So let's say if you were walking around and you put your arm inside. This part that's like this. If you put your arm or you're touching the Kaaba, touch this part and going in. Your arm is inside the Kaaba because the space above this foundation, the space above is considered inside the Kaaba. So if you put your hand in, now part of your hand is inside the Kaaba. You see here? And that's in one part of the, I think, one of the 4 walls, one of them is like that. And put your arm in. If you are lucky enough to get that close. When you have Umrah, you have barakah, to get barakah, that part of the wall is considered inside the Kaaba. That part of your tawaf would be incorrect. What you have to do, you have to try and come back, if you can, or just wait and you go around. Could I have your phone? Digital. Isha?
There's 17 class today.
Wow, you sure?
Yesterday was 20 class.
I'm dropping this one.
Yesterday was 20 class.
Few minutes.
Okay. The time of tawaf comes in from midnight of the day of Eid, of the night of Eid. When you do your basically Yom Arafah, we're all fasting here, yes? We're not fast. And then that night is the first night of Eid. The night that comes before the day. Midnight of that night, that's when the time of tawaf will come in. Midnight. Midnight. The night before the day of Eid. We Fajr time, after Fajr, we do Salat al-Eid. Yeah? The night before, last night. At midnight, that's the time for, tawaf. We'll talk more about that next week, inshallah. We'll do that again. Okay, inshallah. Al-Fatiha.